Hey, what's up? I'm CK with Matamata Media. Thanks for watching this video, and I imagine you're here because you are having a hell of a time trying to get your controller updated. I went through hell and back, especially with customer service with DJI, trying to get this thing figured out, and I really just had to troubleshoot back and forth, up and down, left and right. But here's the deal. I was able to get to a successful update. I don't know how it happened though, because I was pretty much following the same steps. But once I was getting frustrated enough, I started screen recording and filming. And I do have on film the successful update and the steps leading to that. So hopefully this video will help you out. And a couple things to cover. I'm working on a Mac. So if you're a Windows user, hopefully your interface isn't too drastically different. Make sure you're on the latest version of DJI Assistant 2. I am flying a Mavic 2 Pro, so that is the version of DJI Assistant that I downloaded from DJI's website. And the only thing that isn't DJI is my computer. I am using the USB-C cable that came with the Mavic 2 Pro, and obviously the controller, and I'm downloading the software directly from DJI's website. So without further ado, let's dive in and see if we can figure out how I got to a successful update. So good luck to you. Hey, what's up? All right, so this is the screen of the controller, and when you turn it on at home and you connect to the internet, you get this prompt for a firmware update, and it's a big one, so you obviously want to do it. Now, you can download the update, but you can't update the update. It says right here that you need to be connected to your computer using the DJI Assistant 2 app downloaded from their website. So there are people out there that say they were able to update just over Wi-Fi. All I'm going to ask you to do is to prove it, because if you could prove that you were able to update just over Wi-Fi, not connecting to the Assistant app through your computer, then we have more ammunition to go to DJI with, saying you need to make things more consistent across the board. But I sat on this screen right next to my router for 25 minutes until I said, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. Now here, we're following the steps that DJI recommends for following through with the update. Open up the application, which currently is the latest version available to download. Connect the controller, then turn the controller on. One thing you want to notice the little red dot up at the top. That indicates that it is connected to your computer. As far as my troubleshooting experience, anytime that red light is on, that means it's still talking to the computer and the application in some manner of not. But if it's gone, you're only charging. So the screen is gonna still give you prompts while you're connected to your computer about the update. Ignore that to the best of your ability. And this is just gonna be showcasing what happens. So there's 3 phases. There's the downloading, the transmitting phase, and the updating phase. I had issues at all stages. I believe this first one, and mind you, I've gone through a lot before I started filming. I was on the phone. Now check this out. So if you guys are getting the beeps, I was getting the beeps too. 5 sweet beeps, and then the controller just immediately powers down after that. Beep, 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 beep. Turning off. And lovely DJI Assistant 2 app still says that it's updating. It's stuck on that 16%. There's 2 numbers you're gonna hate at the end of this, and it's 16% and 98%. Besides just being frustrated that you can't get your controller up to its latest firmware. So I sat there for a while not knowing that I was in charging mode. And eventually I figured it out, turned the controller back on. And let's see, I can't remember exactly what was next. That little prompt right there just says that the drip charge is too slow. It's not an efficient charge. So this time around, I went to the update screen inside the controller. The application thought it recognized the controller, but it never did. So that wheel just spins forever. And in a desperate attempt at this point, I tried updating from the controller again, which was stupid because it sat at that 0%. And at this point, you're probably getting really frustrated. That's a pissed off thumbs up, sarcasm. And so here we go again, powering on the controller. I was like, what am I gonna do? So I deleted the software, re-downloaded it. You have to turn those 2 things on to even proceed with an update. And I wasn't filming the other controller at the current time. I was able to get my phone open in time to get the beeping again, but not during the update phase, during the transmitting phase. So we're taking steps backwards here. and it's getting so frustrating. And there goes the controller powering down. Now you guys have hit this. The update failed, and DJI's customer service said you're gonna need to provide us a log. Well, when I click this, what happens? It failed to upload. So how the hell can I send you guys a log if I can't even send you guys one? I doubt it even generated one, to be honest. So here we go again. And this time it doesn't even make it past the download phase. It just crashes. So restart the application. This time around, controller is on, application is open, and I went to transfer files option instead of the charging option. And I think we wait for a while to see if DJI Assistant didn't even recognize the controller, had to turn it down or close it, reopen it. We're still not seeing the controller. Thanks, DJI Assistant. So disconnect. Now here is where we win. Reconnect the controller, and I don't touch a thing on the screen. Both those prompts, the charging prompt and how do you want to use this USB cable, I don't touch it. I just start the update through the DJI Assistant app. Okay, we made it through the downloading phase. We're cruising through the transmitting phase. All right, seems to be good. I will tell you, we do make it to the updating phase, which is obviously a good sign. Now look, the screen on the controller changed. We haven't seen this yet where the DJI Assistant app and the controller are pretty much mirroring each other for this update, at least the process. Sits on 16% forever. And of course, when you're frustrated, every minute seems like a freaking hour. But I promise you at this point, it does go through. I jumped up and down and was screaming. Now it sits on this 98%, not as long as the 16%. And all of a sudden this prompt shows up behind the little charging prompt, but we can't see it. There's no lack of opacity, or it's fully opaque. So we can't see what that little F is and that little warning. But here's where it gets interesting. Is I think at this point, well, I know that the DJI Assistant app just stays open and stays on that 98%. It never tells you that you fully completed the update. Oh, that's right. I ended up waiting for a really long time on this screen until I got brave enough to try pushing and making prompts go away just to see what's going on. And as you can see, I'm touching the screen. Nothing is happening. So wait it out just a little bit longer, touch the screen again. All of a sudden it goes completely black. Now I was thinking, oh, but that red light at the top, it never went away. So it's still talking to the computer. Now we're seeing a screen where it says installing system update. And I thought, okay, we have not made it this far yet. And that little progress bar is starting to fill up. Now you are gonna notice that as the progress bar fills up, the screen goes black and then it comes back a couple times. And the progress bar keeps starting over. I thought I was in a loop. And so this last progress bar eventually fills up. Screen is gonna go black and the controller is gonna boot up, and you are going to see the normal home screen that you're used to. And that red light is still on, so that means we're still talking to something, but obviously not the DJI Assistant app because it's still stuck on 98%. And then our lovely "you're not getting charged" fast. There we go. Notes. Latest version now. Okay. Grammatically, it probably could be a little bit better, but I think what it's trying to tell me is I'm operating the latest version. Now, okay, go away charging thing. To double check, I went into the settings and went down to system update to see if by chance everything is looking good. And it says yes. It says I'm on the latest version. But when I hit complete, it's not in English up at the top, as you can see. And when I try to push it again, I get this little failed to get server information. And that's because the update does disconnect you from your router. It kicks you off the internet. So you got to reconnect, which I did. And so at this point going in, I'm currently on the latest version. And so long story short, DJ, you got to get it together, man. You cannot shadow prepare updates without actually testing them with real users in the field. So either way, guys, if you were struggling like I was, I hope that you figure it out, and I hope that you're able to get to some sort of a solution here. And so, if just a little recap, controller was on. The DJI latest version of the DJI Assistant app was open. I then connected the cable, and then I didn't touch the screen on the controller at all. I let all the prompts show up and then ran the update through the app, and it seemed to get through. Even though it still had its little issues at the end, we still seemed to make it all the way to, and currently it does still say to this day that it is updated. So anyway, long-winded video. Hopefully this helps. Y'all take it easy. Bye.